Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Manifesting Wealth, 3 Keys to Become a Money Magnet. So grateful that you came here. Let's let people start becoming in the chat, and I think we are getting ready to get started. So welcome everybody. So glad you could make it. We have so much prepared for you today. Just grab a pen and paper and we'll get started. There we go. We are starting now. Okay. Well, my name is Judy Matejcik. I'm an award-winning international life mastery consultant. And this is, come on over here, David. This is David Sussery, and he's 11 and 3/4 years old. And what are you here for, David? You're here to demonstrate, right?
Yes.
Demonstrate things on attracting money. Let's wait a few minutes while everybody gets in, signing in. This is through Webinar Jam. We're going to put a shout out to Webinar Jam for making this first webinar so easy. So there you go. All right. Well, welcome, and we're so grateful that you took the time out today for yourself to discover some success tools for manifesting wealth and a successful money mindset. So I want to put a shout out to Dave and to Jane and everybody that's hopping in the chat. Great. Glad that you're here. Okay, ooh, we have 5 viewers here that hopping on. I hope you can see everything. This is great. All right. Well, let's get started. You ready, David?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a man, and he wanted to cash a check. Have you ever gone to cash a check? And he went to a bank, and he handed the teller a check, and he said, cash my check. All right. And the man said, the teller said, well, you have to put your name on the back of the check. Put your name on it. And he goes, no, I don't want to put your name on the back of my check. You might not give me my money. He says, it's bank policy. Put your name on the check. No, I wouldn't. So he went to the next bank. Same thing happened. Cash my check. Put your name on the back of the check. Oh, wait, not going to do it. Put your name on the back of my check. No, I'm afraid that you won't give me my money, and it won't ever happen. Went to the next bank. Same thing happened. The next bank, same thing happened. So we finally went to the very last bank on the block, and he said, would you please cash my check? And he said, no, I'm not going to put my name on the check. He says, no. And he started to arguing. So the teller reached underneath his cage and pulled out a rubber bat and, ouch, ah. And so he quickly signed the check, and he gave him his money. And he said, wow, I got my money. So he ran back to the very first bank, and he said, look at the bank down the street gave me my money. And the first teller said, yeah, but I bet nobody explained it that way before. It's a joke. All right. So why are you here today? Okay. Are you a successful business owner who would love to double your income? Or are you a parent, a teacher, or student who would love to have more money and enough money to do some things that are fun? Or do you long for more time freedom to enjoy the money that you do have? Well, you're in the right place. Glad that you're here. So here's my money story. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I'm the daughter of 2 teachers. I grew up with a paradigm that teachers, educated people, teachers, we don't make money, that money is not spiritual, and that money was for them and not us. And I remember going into Meadville, Pennsylvania, for those of you in Pennsylvania, and getting day-old bread, because that's what we got, and we filled up the freezer with it. And also, I also remember getting the hand-me-downs. Have any of you ever grown up and just had hand-me-down clothes? And I remember growing up thinking, I wonder what it would be like just to go to the store and get something new. Or we would go, and when you went to a restaurant, when you did go to a restaurant, you looked at the price of things rather than what it is that you would really love. Well, that's the mindset that I grew up in. And that followed me into my mindset as an adult, and always getting things at Goodwill, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it was this lack of sense of deserving. Until about 10 years ago, I was sitting at Unity Church of the Hills, those of you who know where that is, and they had a guest speaker. It was Mary Morrissey, who's my mentor, speak. And I wonder what it would be like to be her friend, because she told her story and it was similar to mine. Well, I signed up as a student of hers 10 years ago. And I started to change my mindset around my deserving and my whole sense of what it meant to be in this world, to be a teacher. And then 6 years ago, I became a certified life mastery consultant. And my life today is one of like so much abundance and wealth. I travel, I speak, coach clients, and it's where I just am so grateful to have the life that I live now. Now, my clients also have success stories like that. So are you ready to get started? Okay, you ready to get started? All right. Before we get started, you have a pencil or a pen and paper, right? We're going to take a little assessment. And this assessment is to find out where you are now in your mindset on wealth. But before we do that, what does wealth mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? What's it mean to you, David? Want to come in here? What does that word wealth mean to an 11 3/4?
Having everything and a bunch of love and stuff.
Oh, wealth means love to you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, that's good. And that's pretty cool. Well, we're going to talk about wealth in 4 different areas. All right? 4 areas. Now, and we're going to rate your assessment on wealth on a scale of 1 to 10. This is not a judgment. No judgment. This is just right where you are. So let's talk about your wealth of health. All right. You don't have to say anything, David, but where are you wealthy on health on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay. Let's put a number down. And I know some of you out there. Okay. Sorry. David's a 9. That's good. All right. Okay. Wealth of health. How about a wealth of relationships? Where are you wealthy in your relationships? Okay, so, all the relationships at work, with your family, with, anyone that you would love to be calling in. Now, how about thanks for your numbers, David. Isn't it nice to have somebody here? It's like my new assistant. Okay, how about your wealth of gifts? Now, the wealth of gifts is who you are, what you are giving to the world, your career, or your God-given gifts that you're out there giving. Okay, this means like if you're a singer, where are you wealthy in that right now, currently? And this is March 26, 2016 is when we're doing it. Okay, how about a wealth of time and money freedom? I find that, no time, no money, okay, time and money freedom. Where are you now on that scale? Okay. And then a little while later, what is it costing you to stay there? Okay, we're going to ask these questions as we go on today. All right. So are you ready for the 3 keys to becoming a money magnet? Are you ready, David? All right. All right. So let's take a deep breath in and out. And we're going to do the 3 T's. Okay. I'm going to ask you to do 3 T's. 1 is tune in. Really tune in to where we are right now. Tune in. 2, turn up the volume. Turn up the volume on how well you participate in this webinar. And 3, transformational willingness. How willing are you to have any content that hits you today transform you? Okay, you ready? Do I have a go? All right. Key number 1. Key number 1 into becoming a money magnet. Okay. Key number 1 is to be grateful. Here you go. Grateful for what we do have. And we're going to do a little activity in a minute. But David, could you read what this says? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I make myself this promise today. I will do what I can with what I have, knowing that I always have way more than I am aware of.
You have way more than you're aware of. Was there a time that you thought you had nothing and then you found out that you had way more? Mm-hmm. Like when? Can you think about it?
In my jar of pennies, I thought I only had like $2 when I actually had 6.
Awesome, good. So we're going to be aware of what we do have and spread gratitude on it. Here's the activity. Now, this is an activity. I forgot to tell you. One of my past jobs and careers was I was a special ed teacher in a public school of Texas, in Leander, Texas. And we talked about money all the time. You get middle school kids, we're into money. So we talked about manifesting and making it welcome and making it increase. You ready, David? Okay, here is one of the tools that we do. And it is called organizing your wallet. Organizing your wallet. So maybe you don't have it with you now, but grab it later or whatever. We're going to organize our wallets for you on this webinar. Okay. So the first thing to do is bless your wallet. When my mentor, Mary Morrissey, first showed me this, I had this beat up a wallet I had for years. Anything inside was beat up and old, including all the money and things I had stuffed in it. So you might want to consider buying yourself a new wallet. David, tell us about this wallet that you have. When did you get this and what happened since you've got it?
I got it from Nana, and my life really changed because I've had a lot more money in it.
How did you get that money?
Working hard and making it fun.
Making it fun, because money loves fun, right? We do know that. Okay, so we'll take your wallet and we're going to look in. Oh, mine is not necessarily in order, so I'm taking everything out of my wallet. Now, David has a very organized wallet because he just got it. So I'm going to show you what a messy wallet looks like, and then you can demonstrate the other wallet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the very first thing in your wallet that I had to pull out, first I pulled out everything in my wallet. Hang on. And that's all the credit cards, all those old expired ones that I just kind of have in there, all the receipts that are just kind of stuffed in there. I'm taking out my license as well. And there's just kind of a lot of stuff. I just came from, when I go and I'm like, stuff it. But you know what? I don't take the time at night to really appreciate everything that is in my wallet. And the fact, when I would work with the middle school kids, is so important for those of you who are parents or nanas, okay, to go, here, you show this in a minute, okay? Hang on. that it's important when you're about 11 or 12 years old to have a wallet, because your ID goes in there. You can get into movies with it, right? And it's really important. So first thing in my wallet, I'm looking at my driver's license. Do you remember when that was the first time that you got your driver's license? David, do you remember?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because I haven't got it yet.
Yeah, right. So are you looking forward to getting one of these? What is your license going to give you?
The freedom to drive.
Freedom, right? Your first sign of freedom in your wallet. Everything in here energetically should be a sign of freedom. Got it? Okay, behind my license, I put my Social Security cards. The reason I do that is I was trying to find mine a while back, and I lost it, had no idea where it was, had to pay some money to get it. So now I keep that behind my license. I've needed it many times. The other thing I keep in there is my donor card, which means if anything happens, I'm donating whatever's left to whatever. And then this is my goal card. It is what I'm currently working on, and it's a money goal. And this is, I keep this fresh and in here. I'm by September 2016, I'm so happy and grateful now that I generate, and I have my money generation, my money there. And I'll teach you more about this as we go further. The next thing I put in my card, and bless, we're blessing it as we put it back in. Here's my library card. I feel blessed that there's a library across the street. I can go take books out. My insurance, very important to have that. And then all of my credit cards and my debit cards. So I'm going to put those in and bless it as I put in. Also, if you do not know your balances on those, I highly recommend that you know those balances, that you're keeping current with your money. And then in this, David's going to show us, then we're going to take the bills, the money that we do have. Now, this is how not to have your money in there. Okay? Now, crumpled up money hears you. It really does. Here's an old receipt. Okay. So what we want to do, David, you want to demonstrate what we do with the bills? Sure. Okay.
So what you want to do is you want them to get all the creases out, and you always want to have your head first.
Tell us about why you would want to have your heads facing forward.
Just because it looks nicer.
It looks nicer, and why? Because also money, we want it to be facing forward so that it
never goes backwards.
Never goes backwards. There you go. Okay, so we're getting all of our bills, and can you do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and we're putting them in order. I like to put from greatest to least. Other people like to put like the smallest to largest. The reason I like to energetically put the largest to the smallest, I love it when I open up my wallet to pay for something that I do have that bill. And there's something energetically about paying bills. Okay, did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my money. I'm putting it in this part. And I also have tucked in here, and David has one, this little, you see that? You see that? This is my little money elephant. One of my life mastery consultants gave me this because to remind me. You want to show us yours?
Yeah, mine's a little shirt with a tie.
Money loves fun. And I keep that tucked in there, first to remind me of my friend Teo, and also to remind me that money loves fun. All right. Okay. So organized wallet. Now, David, will you show us, this is what an 11-year-old brand new, very first wallet looks like. And can you explain
Yes.
why you have it?
To keep money in and to keep my life organized. So I keep my credit cards here, emergency money here inside this pocket. Then I keep a picture of my family and my information. And down here is where my driver's license would be if I had one. And right behind my driver's license is where I can keep change and where I keep my little tie shirt. And behind all of that is I keep my 1s and 5s at first in front, and then behind it I keep my $1,000 bill, my 20, and my 10.
Oh, your $1,000? Whoa, that's the next step. Okay, you got it? Okay, so key number 1, gratitude and organize for what you do have. Got it? Okay,
Yes.
deep breath. All right. Key number 2, $1 million ideas. Okay. Now, ideas are the first currency of the universe. Now, have you ever had an idea downloaded and acted on it?
Yes.
Right? Okay, now we've all had success. Now, what I would love to have you do is on your paper and with a pen, write down right now 3 times when you knew you were successful and right on. And it could be your first paycheck, it could be the first kid that you ever birthed, it could be anything. Unexpected money in the mailbox. But we're putting that down on a piece of paper, right? What I do, I have $1 million bills and we write the 3 things on the back, and then we tuck it in the wallet in front of all of our bills. So once again, with your piece of paper with your successes, put that in your wallet. And so whenever you go to pay for something, you touch that and you get the energy and the feeling tone of success. Because all wealth is being abundant and prosperous. Okay. All right. Now, there'll be a time towards the end of the webinar where you'll get a chance to pop on and get $1 million from me, but not quite yet. I was going to say that we're giving you as much as we can in a short amount of time. And at the end, I'm going to tell you more about how you can have some sessions just with me. Okay, but not now. We're coming there. Okay, so the 33rd, take a deep breath. Okay, the third and one of the most important keys for a money mindset is to create a vision. Okay, is to create a vision for time and money freedom. Create a vision for time and money freedom. Okay. So just for a moment, put everything down, and we're going to be taking you through a little visioning process. A vision process. Okay. So just for a minute, close your eyes and imagine on your lap there's a book, and everything on the left is written on, and everything on the right is blank. You know what? I'm going to take a minute. There's this great, people are in the chat group. Sue said, and I love this, that Bob Proctor says never to use fake money, only real money in your wallet. Real money attracts real money. Good point. Good point. Let's see, what are my thoughts on it? Well, I've never really thought about it, but that is really a good point. I think energetically that, you know what, let me just tell you something here, what I used to do. Okay, this is the real money, right? Here's something I used to do with my students. I would take this $1 bill. David, can you hand me that Sharpie? Okay. And I would take this $1, which is real money, and I would add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would add 6 zeros to that. And I think what Bob Proctor would say, the zeros are it's just a zero problem. You'd have 10, 100, that it's all in your mind. So thank you so much, Sue, for that. Boom, I'm really glad that you did that. So what you could do is to take a $1 bill, put 6 zeros in it, and either put that in your wallet. But what I found with my students was I would give them this, and it was the students who were doing exceptional things, not acing tests, by the way. Sometimes they've shown up for class. And some of the kids would say, well, does that work in the vending machines? And I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or here's another idea. You can take this $1 million and put it above your bed, somewhere where you can see it, or in the mirror where you're looking at it, right? And imagine yourself, we're going into the visioning process now, imagining what you would do with that money, right? And a lot of my students did that, and they became these young entrepreneurs and were out making their money for their own businesses. So thank you so much for bringing that up. All right, so let's go back into this visioning process and what the word wealth means to you. So imagine yourself. Okay. And the only question that to ask yourself is, what would I love? What would I love? Okay. So let's say that I could wave a magic wand, and it's 3 years from now, 2019. And you're looking at your ideal life now, and we're going to look at the wealth in 4 different areas. Okay, so here we go. Shut your eyes, and we're energetically putting ourselves to 2019. What would I love in the area of health? What would that wealth of health look like? Would I be running up mountains? Would I be swimming in the ocean? Would I be at my ideal weight? It's the area of health. What would I love? Get that picture? The mind thinks in pictures. The quality of our lives depends on the quality of the questions that we're asking ourselves. Okay, we got the health. Now, let's look at the area of a wealth of relationships. What would you be doing? Who would you be hanging out with? What would they be saying? One thing I do know is look at the 5 people you hang out with, and your income is going to be the average of those 5 people. Okay, not to get rid of them, but start looking for new people who maybe are at the level of vibration that you would love. So let's look at that relationship area. What would you love? Would you be hanging out with? And who would you be in that relationship? That's like, would you be a kind, loving, generous soul? Relationships. The third area we're looking at is your gifts or your creative expressions that you would love to give to the world. If you're a singer, if you were a dancer, if you're an accountant, what is it that you would love for your life? 3 years from now, we wave a magic wand. And the fourth area is your time and money freedom, which we've been talking about a lot today. Your time and money freedom. What would you love? What would you love if you had all the time in the world? What would you love? How much money would that be? Would it be $100,000? $500, $1 million, what would you love in that money freedom? And more importantly, what would you be doing with that money? Would you be taking trips? Would you be living in the home of your dreams? What would you love? And how would you be giving with that money? Part of this whole energy is being a philanthropist. What would that money, what would you be doing with that money? What would you love? Okay, now we're looking from above, from the highest point of view that you can visualize, and looking down at this ideal life. What would you love? Okay, in the area of health, relationships, your creative expression, your gifts, and your time and money flow. What would you love? This is creating a vision. Okay, let's take a deep breath and come back into the room. Okay, now one of the things that I know from coaching clients over the years, that the very first thing is to write a vision for what it is that you would love. As soon as we write a vision, we leave here, we're all inspired. And these things called paradigms come up. Paradigms are old habits and old ways of thinking, you know, but. And so what I do in my coaching business, as my mentor, Mary Morrissey, we learn how to take those paradigms and bust them and recognize them, bless them, and send them on our way so that we get more in tune with our vision. Okay, so there we go. The three keys are being grateful for what we do have, create those $1 million ideas for the energy, get a vision. Okay, now how do you know that this vision that you had is the right one for you? You're going to ask yourself these 5 questions. All right, the first one, does it give you life? Does it give you life? David, did you come up with a good vision? Okay, great. Does it align with my core values? Do you know what a core value is? Okay, what's your core value, David? What's a core value of yours?
Kindness.
Kindness, great. And also your family, I know that, your little sister and mom, right? Okay, does it align, your vision align with your core values? Does it cause you to grow? Do you need help from a higher power? And is there good in it for others? Okay, I want to invite you over here, David, and can you tell everybody like your vision and what you would love in its 2019? Okay, what is it, David? You can look at me if you want. Okay.
It's having horses and traveling.
Okay, what kind of horses?
One buckskin, in a red one, a spotted one, and one that has black hooves, black tail, and black mane.
Okay, and where would you travel with those horses?
Probably China, Tennessee, maybe Oklahoma.
Okay, now what I'm going to invite you to do, David, look
California.
at me. I'm going to invite you to do, when we get done, when we're finished with the webinar, to take that vision and to get as specific as you can with it. What color horses, where you are, and take a part of that day and write down what you'd be doing. Okay, great, awesome. All right, so we want to be as specific as we can with those. All right, so, all right, now I want to talk to you also about the importance of having a mentor. There's no way I could have gotten this far in my life without my mentor, mentor, Mary Morrissey, and also Partners in Believing. If you, you want to create is a partner in believing that in you, even when you do not believe in yourself. Okay, so I want to offer you this. okay, that when we're done, I have one more short story to tell you about. I'm going to show you an offer. Now, don't click on the offer yet, because I want to tell you one more story. And this is an offer for you to get one of these $1 million, okay, either like this or like this. I'd love to send you one, and also to take you in a discovery session for you. It's a 45-minute session where I could look at your vision, and I tell you a little bit more about the programs that I teach. I only can take the first 10 people. Now, there's might be some things that you have, like, well, I don't have time, I don't have the money to get a coach, or I've tried other things and they don't work, right? Okay, well, what if what's it costing you not to do this, or not take the time to get a coach to coach you along the way to those time and money freedom goals of yours? And so I've had clients who've doubled their income after a month of working with me, because we looked at where they were now and up leveled. And one client that I had, we looked at where she was working now, and she was a Harvard graduate of business school. And it's like, well, in my mind, it was, wow, she's working way below her potential. So we designed her goals and accountability goals. And in the first month, she had a new job, doubled her income, and was living a much more freer, fuller life. And she's been with me for a couple years now, and she keeps growing and growing and growing and taking more and more trips with her family. If you would like that level of support, I highly suggest that you're one of the 10 people that clicks on the offer. Let me just show you what it looks like. Oh, okay, hang on. I'm going to load this offer up. Okay, and this is the offer for the discovery session. I'm so grateful for Webinar Jam to make this so easy. There you go. And time, it's $1 million, 30 minutes. Oh, actually, it's 45 minutes. Discovery session. Click here. Don't click here yet. I'm going to remove that, and when I'm done, I'll put it up. And the first 10 people to click, bam, you're in. Okay, so final story. You ready? This is a true story. I don't think Dave has ever heard it. Have you? No? Okay. All right. There was a barber, and this was back in the 70s. And he was the third generation barber in this small town in the Midwest. I think Jane's on the line. Jane's a Midwest person. Anyway, it was an old-fashioned barbershop. People would come in and they would get the whole family haircuts. There was donuts there. It was like a little community center. And they were going on, and his son was off at graduate school, and his son was learning all these new principles about how to think and being trained. Bob Proctor was probably one of his coaches. Thanks, Sue. And he came home. It was at spring break. And he noticed his father was like really down in the dumps. I mean, really, and like so depressed. And it went on for a couple of days. And finally, he went to his dad and said, "What is going on?" And his father said, "There's a new barbershop opening up in town." And this was back in the 70s when those $6 haircut places were coming in. And they were opening up in town. And he says, "There is no way I can compete with that. I'm going bankrupt. I'm third generation. I'm having to close the business." Have you ever felt like that? Where there's just nothing there and that you're just shutting down? Well, his son said, "Would you be willing to sit down with me and source some ideas?" Remember, ideas are the first currency of the universe, right? And the father says, "Well, okay." And he says, "The only thing is, we'll write everything down, no editing." whatever comes to your mind, our mind. This is the value of a mastermind group, by the way. Okay, so they got their paper out, and they got their pens out, and the father was like so dejected. He says, okay, what's one idea that you can do? And he said, close the shop. Yes, okay, we'll write that down. Close the shop, that's one. Okay, what's another idea? Advertise. Well, I've already advertised, but wrote it down, advertise. They wrote down at least 20. I highly recommend at least 20 ideas that come to mind, right? Because ideas are like water in a hose. The first amount of water that comes out is all dirty and stuff, but the more water that comes through, your golden ideas come further. So they put that aside. The son went back to college, and in 3 weeks, son called his dad up, and his dad's voice was totally different. Like, oh, sorry about that. Oh, uh-oh, computer fell down. Sorry. All right. Well, we know what to do for next time. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me to this. Okay. So, it's all right. It's okay. So, one of the ideas I could end a seminar, like, oh my God, my computer fell down, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to press forward. So, at any rate, so his father sounded so much better, so much better. And he said, come here, David. Okay. And he said, what is it? Come here. So I sound so much better. And the son said, what is it that you did? Yeah, first of all, the dad said, well, our business is up 26%. We've never made this much money. Everything is going awesome. And the son said, what did you do? What did you do? Are you ready for this? Well, the father said, well, I advertised. I made a sign, and I put it outside my barber shop that said, we fix $6 haircuts. Like that? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out to the end of this webinar. We're going to put up the offer again for the strategy discovery sessions and $1 million bills. This has been so much fun and a pleasure, hasn't it, David?
Yeah.
Okay. And so just remember that inspiration without action is merely entertainment. Please act on this offer now. If not, and if that doesn't sound like something, please get a mentor. Start a mastermind group. This has been manifesting wealth, 3 keys to becoming a money magnet. I hope you enjoyed this, and here's the offer. Over and out until next time. There you go. Hang on. There you go. Now just click there. First 10 people to click there, it'll take you. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Great. Awesome. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop this.